So today I want to talk about the One Project and the Third Way Conference. They are relatively new conferences or evangelistic type of meetings that are taking place within the Seventh-day Adventist Church with the specific aim of changing how we look at Jesus and what we understand about Jesus. Now, it's couched in very nice language. It's hidden, it's masked, if you will, in very nice language. You know, we need to change how we look at Jesus. We haven't been given the full picture. That's the picture that they're trying to paint, basically, is that we don't understand Jesus as we should. However, if you study the Old Testament and the New Testament together, and you believe, as you know, most Seventh-day Adventists do, that the Bible is one book and that the Bible is capable of interpreting itself, then you see very clearly from Genesis all the way through Revelation the roles of Jesus Christ as prophet, priest, and king. And so I fail to understand what exactly we need to change about how we see Jesus. I definitely think that, biblically speaking, we do, as Seventh-day Adventists, have a good understanding of who Jesus is. The real motivation behind the One Project and the Third Way Conference is actually to bring in the emergent church movement into the Seventh-day Adventist Church. And it's been quite successful thus far, as I know personally of several pastors who I've spoken to, and they feel that the emergent church has good things to offer our church. That basically what they're saying is that our church lacks experience, that we have doctrine, but we need experience, and that certain elements of the emergent church movement would benefit our church greatly so that we could have that experience, that Christ experience. To that, I would respond, what experience are you looking for? The true faith experience comes from studying, understanding, and living, being a doer of the Word, hearing the Word of God, understanding it, and doing it. That is the true faith experience. So to have a Christian experience from an outside Sunday-keeping movement, to me, is very dangerous. We have to be careful about the influences that we allow into our church, mainly from the speakers that we're inviting. Now, the Third Way Conference took place in September, I believe, of 2013 at Southern Adventist University, Chattanooga, Tennessee. Now, the main speaker, the guest speaker there, was Brian McLaren, who is one of the two main leaders of the emergent church movement, who has, by his own account and by his own admission, he denies the blood atonement of Christ. He denies that the Bible can be taken literally. And basically all of the tenets of our faith. If you're a true Christian, those are things that are indispensable to your faith. You can't be a Christian and not believe in the blood atonement of Christ. So my question would be, why are we allowing non-Christian speakers to teach us about Christianity, or to teach us about how we should look at Jesus, a Jesus who they really don't know? Now, that off the top, the Third Way Conference, I mean, it's a sham, it's preposterous. But the One Project is a little more subtle in its deception. It's basically the liberal wing of the church is pushing this One Project conference, and they're having these discussions, and it's the format is that people sit down amongst a group of people. They have 25-minute presentations, and then they discuss it amongst other people, amongst themselves at different tables. But the thing is that the main speaker there, okay, so we saw that at Southern Adventist, right, in the Third Way Conference, that the main speaker was Brian McLaren, who is the one leader, one of the two main leaders of the emergent church movement. Now, the other main emergent church leader is Leonard Sweet, and he just so happens to be the guest speaker at the One Project in Seattle of 2013, or actually 2014. It just happened about a month ago. So why do we have the two main leaders of the emergent church movement teaching our Adventist theologians and pastors about Jesus when they clearly deny the blood atonement of Christ, that the Bible can be taken literally. They deny the basic tenets of our faith. So what really do we have to learn about Christianity from somebody who's not a Christian? That would be my biggest question. So get out there, study it, look up, you can Google it, the One Project and the Third Way Conference. See what they're all about, and beware. That would be my message to you. If you are a conservative or a traditional Adventist, beware and speak out in your church. If you see these elements of the emergent church movement starting to come into your church, don't be afraid to stand up and say something now before it's too late, before the emergent church takes over, and before we've compromised truth to make Christianity more palatable for unchurched or for, for liberal Adventism. So, yeah, stand for the truth and take a stand against the emergent church movement, as I will, and God bless you, brothers and sisters.